welcome back to the channel. Sorry I've been MIA, but as you can see, we had a little bit of an upgrade. All my hair's fallen out and it won't grow back for 5 or 6 months while I'm wearing this hat. Just so you know, and we'll talk about that another day. Anyway, today, where are we? You probably know the famous wall, John Fitz's gym in Athena, the Marvel wall. We are with Gavin Wayne, my client for nearly 2.5 years now. And you'll see his transition from when he started with me, when he was fat as hell, tubby mofo. Then we got photo shoot shredded, and then we went on to win his debut and turn pro in stage competitions in the UK. And I'm going to show you clips of that throughout the day, and you can obviously bring together your own conclusion about how important it is staying with one coach and letting them understand your body inside out so you can yield the best results. Back with Kess always gets worries when I cheat on him with another photographer, but he's my
I was
original.
crying for a week, man.
He's my original boyfriend, so we stay true to it. We stay loyal.
Switch it off now. Loving the lab. It's beautiful.
The colour scheme. How are you feeling, Gavin?
Grand out. Bit pumped now.
Yeah, been training all morning now, so
Oh
ready to
fuck,
go.
it's about 2 hours on now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How has Gavin's body changed since when you first started?
Gav used to be a tubby mofo when he started with me. Gavin was like a big boy. And the thing was, just true to yourself, Megan was with him since day one. That is dedication. That is dedication. Every single prep she has stuck by his ass when he couldn't obviously cheat on his diet or do any fun relationship things. So that's what you call a true relationship. This is like next level now because they've done it year in, year out. And yeah, the key fact here is every prep I do with Gav, the more I learn about his body. And the more you can learn about an individual's body, well then the better results you're going to yield. Simple as that.
I've seen his transformations on Instagram, and you know, the Carroll cutout where he just goes wham, and it's like a new person. And I was like, I want that, like. And yeah, so I contacted him and we got in touch and we started working. It was 2 years ago, so I was heavy enough, like I was in the gym, I was fairly strong. I liked the gym, but I just wanted to look a bit better, like, so I wanted to drop a bit of body fat. And originally I just wanted to lose a bit of body fat really and just feel better. And he got me there, and he got me a lot leaner than I thought I would get. And it's just been a ridiculous journey really, since I didn't think that I'd be ever stepping on stage in like a fitness modeling thing or doing photo shoots or anything like that. Like I just wanted to feel a bit better, like, and it just one extreme to the next. It's been ridiculous.
So was it after the first prep you kind of decided you wanted to compete?
After the first prep, I just kind of wanted to hit the gym again, and when I started adding a bit more mass, then I was like, I might kind of have a chance maybe to go on stage, and might kind of push me for it, like, and we worked hard and we got there. First place, junior fitness world champion. So the only thing I found hard really was the diet at the start. It was just, I wasn't a man for like broccoli or just vegetables really, and I liked kind of a variety of food, not just being strict, but obviously that changed. And after about 2 weeks of just hitting it strict, I loved it, and I was in a routine. Mike kind of taught me the nutritional values and all that. Like I just kind of, obviously I got to know it better myself and Wayne and everything out. Like Megan was so supportive, like throughout, you know, everything really. She'd get me up, she'd get me out to train, she'd get me on the cross train or whatever it was. She'd make sure I get my meals in, but like, you know, it was just the fact that I couldn't go out for a meal with her. It was just so strict, you know, or I couldn't have a night in, have a few cookies or watch a movie or something, you know, just normal kind of stuff. That took away from the relationship a bit, but I made sure to make up for that after, didn't I? Yeah, but like, she understands, like, it's what I love, and it's only for a couple of weeks, well, a bit more than a couple of weeks, but like, you know, she understands, like, and she gets it, so I just couldn't be more grateful for that. The goal at the moment, like, is just to get bigger, but I would love to step on the Mr. Olympia stage. Classic physique definitely is the main goal, but obviously I'm gonna have to hit like with the men's physique first, just build myself up. But Like the likes of like C-Bum now and all them, I just look at their physiques and like I can get there. I've never even seen one. I'm definitely natural. I'd literally faint if I go get my bloods done. I wouldn't go near a needle or anything like that. So I just love to see what I was like on them, to be honest, just to prove you wrong. But I don't know if there's a way to prove you wrong, or it doesn't really matter, to be honest, you know.
So
It was 16 weeks. It was a 16-week prep, and we lost something like 24 kilos. Now, obviously, I'm going to go on record and I'll quote this. Obviously, when I post that transformation, it was like steroids or fake or all this. It was 100% legit real. And out of all my clients, I get a lot of people say, oh, he's taking steroids, he's taking steroids. I have no issues with people taking steroids. Gavin has never touched one steroid in his whole life. Why it gets under my skin is because I know how hard he's worked to achieve that naturally. If people call out lots of my clients on Instagram that have taken steroids and don't, fine, let them do it. I won't fight back. But when they say it about him, it just gets under my skin because, as I said, I know how hard he's worked. And what I will agree with everyone, if people come to me and said, was he taking stuff? I'd say, yeah, he's definitely taking stuff. When I look at the photos, I don't even believe it. Throughout the years of prepping Gav, I've learned a lot about his physique inside out in terms of like how his body metabolizes certain foods, how high we can go in the off season. Gav takes more of a balanced approach, relaxed approach in terms of off season, which is obviously normal because obviously he's got a girlfriend. And it goes to show if you just put in the work for like 16, 20 weeks and just be somewhat strict with your diet in off season, Gav can still pull it back and still get unbelievable results. Futures going forward for Gavin, future goals will be obviously getting back on stage. It was meant to happen this year, but COVID just basically put a spanner in the works. So we're just aiming towards bigger and better things. It was good now for this prep just to try different methods. Trial and error, different methods. We front loaded his carbs this time and started feeding him up into the show. And last time for his stage competition, we depleted him and then basically carved him up about 2 days out. When this was a completely different process, a week out we started reintroducing carbs and started increasing them as the days go by. So completely different approach, seeing different response. Information to pull, and this is the whole point of this video, to show the more time you spend with a coach and a client, he knows your body inside out and you can obviously get better results and just learn more about the individual. I probably know his body better than my own right now. A long time since I've prepped. He's prepped like twice since I've prepped. 3 times solid, gone down to a low body fat percentage. You could never know someone's body in one prep. Do you know, like obviously there's only so many peak weeks you can do. So now like I've had 3 peak weeks with Gavin and everyone. Even that first one I think was a completely different approach again as well. So that's 3 different approaches and every slightly different results each time.
Yeah, we didn't even carb for that one.
Yeah, didn't even cover
it was just the morning.
Yeah. And basically for what we done different for the stage competition, we dehydrated him hard the night before. This time we kept his water pretty high and only just cut his water later in the day. So again, we weren't going, I was trying to get a much fuller, a much still a hard look, but just not as dry, because at the end of the day, if Gav's going to be competing with the pros now because he turned pro on his debut, them boys are going to be a lot bigger than him. And a lot of them are going to be taking steroids when Gavin's natural, so we have to come in as full as a house and look as big as we can whilst keeping a level of obviously vascularity and dryness and fullness. So took a different approach with the water load, happy with it. So it's just about learning from that and now adjusting certain things when we do go forward next year for the stage. But in the meantime, we've got to have a big off season and try and pack on as much muscle as possible. What Gavin's got above everyone else in abundance is his symmetry. Like that there is his genetics, he's genetically gifted. Like his back, his V-taper, tiny waist, big outer sweep, massive drop in hamstrings, and chest has filled out a lot more over the last year. So I'm really, really happy about that.
again, this is your second shoot with Kes now.
Oh, the first time, just the work was unbelievable. Like I knew, like when I cut the weight and I looked good, but when he took the photos, I didn't even know I looked remotely like that. Like his work is insane. Like so, I said I had to go in him again, and looking at his recent work as well over just literally the past year, it's just insane what he comes up with. Like, you know, he's a true artist. Like, so I had to go with him.
Also, me and Gavin would like to do a big shout out to John Fitz for letting us use his lovely gym today, which you've already seen. John, obviously, sound as a pound, letting us use his facilities, especially at early hours in the morning.
Back on a reverse diet, no.
Gavin doesn't reverse diet.
I'm gonna nail it this time.
Like first time I rebounded 21 pounds in 19 days, but I went to an all-inclusive holiday in Ibiza. But
Do you know what? The first one I actually did.
you kept it tight, did you?
Yeah, the first one, but it was after the show. I couldn't stop.
Because you were way lean.
Yeah, I couldn't be stopped.
Yeah.
I'd be fighting Ola.
Yeah, fine.
It'd be grand.
Because the real secret is, boys and girls, and Gavin knows this, the stricter you are in the 4 to 6 weeks post-diet is the more successful you're going to be in your off-season. In terms of your metabolism, hormonal regulation, obviously your libido is going to come back, and then obviously that's the foundation for how high you can get the food. And for a natural athlete like Gavin, the most powerful drug at his disposal in the off-season is food. right? So you want to get that as high as possible whilst maintaining condition. Whereas somebody who's taking steroids, you're not, it's completely different off-season approach and everything. Right, boys and girls, that was a wrap from me and Gavin today. So what I'm gonna say, what I always say, you, do what makes you happy. If it makes you happy, click that like button. But wait 1 sec. Robin, what do you have to say before we go? Say bye-bye.
For the victory lap though. Whoa, whoa, they ain't never seen nothing like this before. Lit the room